May profits be upon you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is RT Money representing Lions Den FX. And we're going to take a look at gold today. And we're going to do some top-down analysis. Let's start with the monthly, right? What I want you to see on the monthly is that price is moving bullishly, right? We're making higher highs and higher lows. This is the wrong color. I'll fix that. Let me see. Down to the extreme low to the extreme high. See, what I want you to notice here is we had a break of structure here. We broke that high point here. That confirms that we are bullish. All right, that confirms the bullish momentum. All right, now this is a relatively shallow, come on, man. That's a relatively shallow pullback here. All right, and then we make this double top. Some people are going to call this a double top. I don't like looking at that because I don't like to look at it that way, because some people are going to take entries here and take shorts. All right, but what market makers like to do is get you in, take a short here, put your stop loss up here, all right, bring you into some profit, and then with this shallow pullback, right, come back and give you, hey, a double top. Some people are going to look at this and say, this is a good place to take a short. And they take shorts. Put their stop losses right here. Same as over here, right? What market makers like to do is come right back. Put them in the profit, come right back. Take them both out. Take all these people who took shorts. You take them out and you are liquidated. If you don't know where the liquidity is, you're probably the liquidity, okay? So be careful of that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm pointing out that we have relative equal highs up here, which is a magnet for price to target as liquidity, all right? And we are close to it, closer than the relative equal lows down here, which price will target for liquidity. Now it's going to be, this is the monthly time frame. This is going to be a lot of time before we get down here. We're close up here. That makes me think this is a high probability target for liquidity. You understand? So we are bullish because of the trend on the monthly time frame. If we go to the weekly, come on, man. Thing is moving smoothly today. All right. What I want to point to you is something's going on with my mouse. All right, what I want to point to you is this. You see how we're making these highs, lows. This is shallow lows. These aren't really pullbacks for me. They don't count as a full pullback on the weekly time frame for me, but this one does, because that's has some size to it. All right, that is a structure point for me. And what I like to do is when I see those structure points, a low, this is a higher low because we're making from here to here, it's a higher high. And we break that high here, right? And we come up here. We come up here, make this higher high point. We pull back for a higher low, and then we break this high coming up. All right, so I'm looking at from here to here as my new trading range, from the higher low to the higher high. Stretch it across, and you can see this is a good pullback, a legit pullback. Why? Because this is a 618 golden ratio on the Fibonacci retracement tool. Look it up, Google it. You'll see the golden ratio has a lot of significance. Anyway, you can see that we've tested the level a couple of times here. All right, and we left these relative equal lows right here. All right, that's why I have it marked down. All right, but what I want you to make note of is when price came back for that pullback, a legit pullback, nice deep pullback, we came up here, made this high point. All right, this is a substructure. All right, we pull back down, respected the lows, and broke that high, broke that microstructure swing high. It's microstructure. Why? Because this is our trading range from here to here, from this higher high to this higher low. All right. Until we break this higher low, we are still bullish. Price can come all the way down here like it did, but as long as it respects that low, we are still bullish, and we are working our way back up, back to that high. Here's the deal. That's a strong, you got to designate what is strong and what is not. This is a weak high. Now, why is that a weak high? Because it didn't make a new low. Didn't break the structure point that brought it into existence. All right. That means it's going to be targeted for liquidity. I hope you understand weak highs and weak lows. The point of a high is to make a new low. The point of a low is to make a new high. That's the way it works. All right. When it fails to do its job, it becomes a target for liquidity. Plain and simple. All right. Let's go down to the daily. Do we see something in the price action on the daily time frame? Yes, we do. What do we see? We see price breaking the high of the previous candle up to this point, failing to do so here, right? We have a nice pullback. All right. We failed to take out the liquidity all the way over here to the left. All right. Leaving it there. So what are we thinking? You see how we have these rejections, rejection, rejection. All right. We're having trouble getting past this lower point here. Why? What's going on there? All right. Are we just not going to make it past there? Well, we're going to need to take a closer look at that price action. Let's go to the 4-hour. All right. When we start talking about structure again, let's talk about that 4-hour structure. What do I got here? All right. We broke this high, right? Pulled back, made that higher low, and then broke this high here. All right. Pulled back, made the higher low, and then broke this high, making the higher high here. All right, let's pause here. Why are we pausing? First of all, how did I lose that blue color I had in the first thing going place? All right, and I had double thickness on this. So I got problems with this situation. Okay, anyway, it still didn't give me I don't understand what's going on with that. So we break the high here. Let's mark it. Break the high here. Boom. Break a structure. All right. Because that's a structural point. All right. We break the high. We're still bullish. All right. Make a higher high. Once we make that higher high, we go to the lowest point before this. That's the higher low. The higher low makes that higher high. All right. So we pull back here. Why is this a pullback? Why does this count as a pullback for me? Because there's 40 pips here, about 40 pips. And that's what I look for on the 4-hour time frame. I look for at least a 40 pip pullback. And if you look over your structure, you back test this, you'll see about the average is about 40 pips. And that I look for that. And this one just meets that criteria. So this higher low, this potential higher low, it's not a higher low until it makes what? A higher high, until it breaks that high. And that's exactly what it does. So now I recognize this as the higher low. All right. And that's a structural point. Until price comes back and breaks that low, I will not look at this as bearish. I will not be looking for sells until this isn't a bearish market until it breaks that structure point. Okay. I hope everybody can keep up with that. Okay. So what does price do? Price does come down here and technically breaks that low. Isn't that very interesting? So what does that blow out my theory? No, it doesn't. I need to explain this. All right. It didn't close below this low. I need a break and a close of the candle body below that low. Why? Because that demonstrates that price wants to go lower. You can see the intent better with a break and a close below that low. When price just wicks past it and then goes the other way, it was a liquidity grab. That's why I have this X here. It grabbed liquidity and went the other way. All right, that's how I see the market. You know, you don't have to see it that way. You can see this as a close, and you can say, all right, we can look for sells here on this pullback. La 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 la. All right, I'm not looking for sells yet until we get a break and close below that. So I know that price really intends to go lower because it can keep going up from here. All right, that's just the way I work. Okay. Now, where are we at? Price is at a very interesting point here. What I want to know, what I want to see is price breaking supply on the way up, because that lets me know that there is strength behind the impulse, the bullish impulse. All right, and we're coming up to an area of supply. Let's go down to the 15. I'll show you what I mean. So we can see this price action very clearly. All right. Well, come on, man. Why do I keep doing that? Okay. So what I want you to see is over here to the left, a dot is not aligned anymore. I'm going to bring that back over here. All right. What I want to do is, what causes price to turn around? Of course, it runs into a demand zone or supply zone. It runs into an order block. All right. You can see the sells before the buying starts, and then the follow through with buys here. This marks my supply zone. I mean, my demand zone here. Let me make sure I got the right color on this. Okay. And I'm going to stretch this all the way over. All right. I want to make sure I got that low there. All right. The design of an order block is such that the bottom, the very last point, the low point of it is supposed to be a protected low that you would think institutions do not want to go past that point, right? So what I'm looking for is a break and a close below that, and you can see price just wicked below it. Just wicked below it and went the other way. Came down twice. 1, 2. All right. This one, the one that took out the liquidity, this was the one to take a long position from. All right. But that's neither here nor there. What I want you to see is that price didn't break and close below it. All right. If we're not breaking demand zones, at the point of structure, or the point of major structure, then I'm not convinced that price is going to the downside. It's that simple. Until it's a break and a close below that, all right, I'm thinking we're still bullish. Okay, now we are here. This could be refined down to here. Should have done that over here. This could be refined down to here to what I call the nitty gritty, below the body, within the wick. There's demand in that, and we haven't broken that demand yet. This is still a valid demand zone, obviously, because we still had this bullish reaction from it. All right, that's all there is. That's all I need to see. Okay, and we have come up to a point of supply here. All right, this point of supply, you can see probably a little more clearly on the 1 hour. Yeah, on the 1 hour, you can see this point of supply. You can see that the buying started here. The buying started at this level, and then we had a very aggressive bearish impulse, leaving behind what is just clearly an imbalance. All right, imbalance. Some people call it a fair value gap. All right, where there's nothing but sells here, and what price likes to do is rebalance that. It comes back and rebalances it. Okay, it comes and fills that fair value gap in. See this fair value gap left in this one? Price came and filled it. That's the way it works. All right, you see the same thing over here. It came down, then price fills it. That's efficient price movement. This is an inefficient move that price will make, that will rebalance. All right, so it's done that already. Okay, and what we want to see now is the reaction here at this supply zone. If price turns over here, once it comes back into contact with this zone, because it mitigated this order block already, it mitigated it once. It looks like it's coming back, taking out the liquidity of these highs here. All right. If we go back to the 15, because I don't spend a lot of time on the 1 hour. All right. We'll come back to the 15. You can see that price has taken the liquidity out, generated liquidity, and took it out. All right. This is the next mark. This is the next point, the next target of liquidity here. All right. And I believe price will take that out as well. This is for people that took shorts early. And price generated all of this. All right. If it takes this one out, it makes this one vulnerable. All right. Here you'll see relative equal highs, and we have a lot of liquidity to come get. I believe price will. This is my belief. All right. I believe we're going to be bullish from here. All right. That's just my belief. But what I'll be looking out for is on the lower time frames, on the 5 and the 1. If price gives me an indication that it wants to come back down, you know, an early indication like chalk, change of character. You know, if the momentum turns from bullish to bearish momentum on the lower time frames, then I will look to take a short here, but only after confirmations. Only after confirmations that it is definitely going to turn bearish here. But if price breaks that high and continues towards the liquidity here and works its way up to those relative equal highs up here, just bear in mind, the reason why we came up this way is because of inflation numbers and this war, man. The war. People are putting money into, taking money out of risk assets and going into safe havens like gold. All right. Is the war getting any better anytime soon? No, it's actually getting worse right now. Why? So why would I think that the price of gold is going to go down? I don't think we'll see a bearish week ahead. I think we're going to see a bullish week ahead because of the conditions with the war and because of those bad inflation numbers that came out for the US dollar. So for the US economy, rather. So I'm looking towards taking a bullish position, and I'm waiting for a proper setup to do so. But if we get confirmation, if we get confirmations that price is turning over to bearish here, I will be looking for a bearish setup, and I will update my people, all right, in on this channel, and especially those in the free Telegram. Make sure you sign up for the Lions Den FX free Telegram. I like to communicate and stay active there. That's all I want you to do. Look for updates, look for the setups. I feel that we're bearish or bullish here on this time frame. All right, but I have my eye out to see if we're going to come bearish, if price is going to turn around here. All right, that's it. I want you to be careful. All right, I want you to be careful in this week ahead. The last 2 weeks have been kind of tricky. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for sharing a couple of minutes of your time during your weekend.